Hey friends, how's it going? Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. I got a new clone fragrance that I want to talk to you guys about here today. This one is a clone of an extremely expensive fragrance, which I guess that's typically the move with clone fragrances, right? That's the whole point. It costs less, smells similar, you save money, you're happy. Woo! So this one in particular is a clone of a Louis Vuitton fragrance called Symphony, which I'm sure a lot of you out there have heard about. And of course, Louis Vuitton, you know it's not gonna be cheap, right? A lot of their fragrances you can pick up for like $3 and some change, like 320 bucks or so. That's retail price. And then they have some fragrances that are more expensive than those, like Ombre Nomad, for example. And I think those are 410. So 410, yeah, you might see that and go, yeah, that is expensive. But no, wait, there's more. They have fragrances more expensive than that, to the tune of $560, which technically is actually not their most expensive one. I know they have one more that's like $630, but still, 560 bucks is a lot of money, and the fragrance that we're talking about is Symphony. So I went ahead and got my hands on a clone of that fragrance, which is what I'm gonna be talking to you guys about here today, and it's this one right here called Harmony from Montagne. And it is ever so slightly more affordable. Honestly, you know, it's pretty close. So the Louis Vuitton 560 full retail. This one 45. Oh, no, they're actually not even remotely similar in price. I've talked to you guys about this brand a few times in the past, and initially it was basically me taking a look at 3 brands that I thought were really similar and seeing like which one was the best, which one was the worst, how they shook out. So that was Dossier, Montagne, and Alt. And the main reason was they all were kind of being advertised to me online and had a similar kind of aesthetic, right? Like the similar kind of labeling and idea of like cutting out the middleman. You know the whole deal, right? Don't pay those prices, pay these prices. That's the whole thing, basically. So anyway, I did some contrasting, comparing, and ranked them out. And admittedly, I've not tried everything from all the brands, but based off of what I have tried, Montagne is like easily the best of those 3. It ain't even close. And so I've come back to them a few times kind of to see what they've got going on. And actually, I didn't even know this, but they've got like a pretty big community. Like, this brand has a whole lot of followers that are like checking on when they're restocking stuff and coming out with new stuff. And so that's what got me interested here in this one. So as I said, this is an alternative to Symphony. And actually they have a whole bunch of Louis Vuitton alternatives / clones. And I've talked about some of those already on this channel in the past. Now, some of the favorites from this house that I've talked about in the past include this one, which is Torino 2021, which is a clone of Torino 21. One of those ones where they just said, who cares, man? Yeah, that's good. That's a good name. We'll roll with it. I think this stuff is great. It has on the front there some of the notes: mint, lemon, basil, musk. Very green, very fresh, brisk. Quality is great for the price point. This stuff is awesome. Couldn't get the cap back on there. And like I said, they've done some Louis Vuitton stuff in the past. A couple of really solid ones right here. This is Afternoon Dive, which is, of course, Afternoon Swim. On the front there it says Orange Bergamot Marine Accord. So another one great for summertime, very citrusy, fresh, clean. And then Imaginary. What could that be? Notes on the front: orange, neroli, and ambroxan. Imagination, by the way, just in case you didn't connect those dots. But it's not about these today, and all 3 of these, like I said, are fantastic. It's about this one and how good this one is. So let's go ahead and start off by taking a look at that presentation. So with this house, you're gonna get a similar presentation across the entire board of their releases. The only thing that's really going to change is going to be that label. So on the front here, you have the name of the house, name of the fragrance, and some of the notes: grapefruit, bergamot, ginger, orange. Size and concentration, 50 ml, eau de parfum. And then you have the ingredients on that little sticker as well. So you go ahead and just give it a little cut and then open it up. And your bottle will be down inside here with some tissue paper. Then we have the bottle. All of them come in this same bottle style. And again, you have that label on the front. That's how you're gonna differentiate the fragrances. You have the name of the fragrance notes, all that stuff on the front there, as well as the size. One thing I do notice on my label is it's labeled as Eau de Parfum 15 milliliter, but it's actually a 50 mil. Nice! You have a little cap that slides into place. I wouldn't really pick that up by the cap. That thing's gonna pop off. Let's go ahead and do a couple sprays here. There we go. Before we jump into the fragrance and how it smells, here are some codes that you can use to save yourself some money, including a new code for Montagne. Code is Gents10. It's good for 1 week from today, from this video. So use that code to save yourself a little bit of money. Let's start talking about the fragrance, how this one smells. So this is yet another Louis Vuitton fragrance that is citrus forward. They have a lot of fragrances that are high quality summertime citrus bangers. Now they obviously have other darker fragrances, warmer fragrances as well. We all know that, like Ombre Nomad, talked about that for 2 seconds at the beginning of the video. But a lot of their stuff is really well known for just being some of the nicest, easiest to wear, citrusy summertime scents, as long as you don't mind spending some money. And Symphony is that. I mean, even if you don't know the fragrance, never heard of it, you can just look at that note breakdown that they have on the front there: grapefruit, bergamot, ginger, orange. I mean, yeah. They also technically have, I believe on their website, ambroxan. So like these are all top notes on their website, and then it has mid notes and it's like none. Base, ambroxan. But to be fair, that's actually more notes than the Louis Vuitton has. Yeah. So, because I think the Louis Vuitton, at least if you look on Fragrantica, is grapefruit, bergamot, ginger. So now this stuff opens up fantastic, a citrus bomb, zingy, fresh, touch green around the edges of the scent. Nice sweetness to the fragrance as well. Off a tester strip, you get almost like a light candy kind of sweetness, or like a, you know, candied sugary citrus. But off skin, it's a little more zingy, fresh, slightly aromatic, fresh spicy as well. And as I said, little green around the edges. As it dries down, it takes on a little bit of a soapy aspect, not overwhelmingly so. It's not like it becomes a powdery soap bomb. That's not what I'm saying. But it does get like a soapy cleanliness as it heads through the mid. That citrus lingers, carries over, and still a decent amount of sweetness as well. And that soapiness doesn't last forever. It's just kind of like a transitional point where you pick up a little bit of that, and then as it dries down, again, more of that freshness lingers, a touch of the citrus carries over, and then you have sort of a clean muskiness, you know, like a very, very clean musk as you hit that dry down. Technically, ambroxan, again, is the base note here. This kind of plays to an extent in like that wheelhouse of Tiger, Bulgari Tiger, you know, fragrances like that are very citrus forward, but then have decent depth to them that aren't just like a very sparkly citrus that fades in like 15 seconds and then you've got nothing. It's in that style, which if that sounded confusing, I'm not saying this has a zingy 15-second citrus and then it's gone. I'm saying it's more like Tiger, the way that that does not have that, but it still has that citrus very forward in the scent profile, kind of builds everything around it to an extent. And it's not that I'm saying that this smells like Tiger or that Symphony smells like Tiger. I'm just saying that's probably the most well-known fragrance that kind of approaches things that way, and that this plays in that ball field, if you know what I mean. And you could say the same thing about some of the other Louis Vuitton fragrances, you know, like Imagination, Afternoon Swim, L'Immensité, like all these other fragrances, that they have not the same scent profile, like they do have their own identity, but that they all are accomplishing a similar goal. And this is in that vein to an extent, or Symphony is, and by proxy, this is also. Quality-wise, really, really nice. You can spray this on immediately, go in for a whiff, smells great, and it smells awesome as it dries down as well. So it's not one of those ones that has like a funky, opening or a funky mid or something like that. As I've harped on a million times, there are a number of clone fragrances where you smell them initially and you're like, this kind of sucks. And then 3, 4, 5 minutes in, you go, okay, now it's better. You don't have that issue with this one, so that's a positive. I also had my wife smell this one. She loved it. I asked her if she thought it leaned feminine, because to me, it's a unisex fragrance, but with a little feminine lean to it, which the Louis Vuitton is the same way. I asked her, she actually said that she thought, no, it's just completely unisex, so that's her opinion. Mine is that it is a unisex fragrance, but has a little bit of a feminine lean to it. But again, so does the Louis Vuitton, so I mean, that's, you know, that's kind of to be expected. And on the whole with this one, especially like the 10% off brings it down to about 40 bucks. 40 bucks compared to $5.60 retail. It's stupid how close this gets to smelling like the Louis Vuitton. And again, going down that rabbit hole, it looks like most people kind of get the same vibe as well. That like these ones, the ones that I like a whole lot, also other people are like, yeah, those bang, those are really, really good. And I would imagine as people start to kind of get this one in, because it launched not that long ago, they're probably gonna have a similar reaction to it. And for me, this one's gonna go right up there toward the top with the other ones that I've shown you from the house as one of the best ones that I've tried. Again, there are a lot of other ones that I haven't, and I'll try to get some of those in as time goes, but it becomes one of those things, you know, new stuff comes out and it's just kind of difficult to know like what to grab. Basically, it's gotta be like on the front page and just be like, hey man, look what we came out with. And I'll be like, all right, sounds good. I'll take that. Thank you. Add that to the cart. And in case it's not apparent, this is a spring, summertime fragrance, more of a daytime fragrance. You know, it's not something you're gonna wear middle winter during the evening. Well, I mean, I guess you could if it was like summer evening is really hot and you want something nice, a little fruity, fresh, slightly tropical, sweet, something like that, it could work. But by and large, this is gonna be a fragrance people view as like spring, summer, daytime. So there we go, Harmony from Montagne, another solid Louis Vuitton alternative. I think that I have more Louis Vuitton alternatives from this house than any other, somehow. Maybe not. I think I have 5 Louis Vuitton alternatives from them, but still. Seems to be some of the best stuff they do is actually Louis Vuitton alternatives, interestingly. It's like their strong suit. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Check this stuff out if you're interested in scooping up a 560 bone fragrance or something very similar to it for less than 10% the cost, unless we start doing price per milliliter. Thank you guys so much. Let me know. I know some of you out there, like I said, Montagne are like fanboys. Let me know some of the stuff that I need to know about, and I'll see if I can't scoop it up. There's like people doing tier lists. There's people doing like buying guides, people doing like decants, just all kinds of stuff, man. I saw you guys. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.